Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Cedric Green here, the Green Honda guy, live from Walsh Honda, of course. I want to talk to you guys about leasing a little bit. Yeah, I may have mentioned this before in my previous videos. It's more like just a little informal conversation because we do a lot of leasing up here. You know, this is a Honda store. Make sure I ain't getting hit by nothing. This is a Honda store, so you know Hondas hold their value really well, and in turn, that allows you to get some great lease payments on a vehicle. Now, leasing ain't for everybody. You know, it's a few situations where it would be beneficial. You know, let's just say you got somebody that's just starting out. You know, they don't want to spend a ton of money or make monthly payments on a vehicle as far as they need to be within a certain range. Leasing typically has lower monthly payments because you're only dealing with the portion of the car that you're using. Since you're just dealing with that portion of the vehicle that you're using, those payments can be very low. Now, you do have three options at the end of the lease. When you're dealing with us anyway, that's why our leases do so well. You know, you can always turn it in at the end of the lease. And that's one of those situations where, you know, you got to make sure you stay within your mileage. You got to make sure there's, you know, not excessive damage on the vehicle, wear and tear and all that good stuff. Hardly nobody does that option there, not around here. You know, the second option is to actually trade that vehicle in. You know, leasing is basically, it's still in a sense financing the vehicle because you're making monthly installments on it. So it will have a payoff associated with it. So just like you trade in a vehicle, if you're financing, you know, we're going to appraise your vehicle, put it up against what you owe, and then we move on from there. So that you know, leaves you more options and things to do with the vehicle. And because they hold their value so well, you know, most of our leasing customers are in the good. I had a situation where a customer was 3 times over the mileage of their lease. But when you did the appraisal, compare it to what they owed, they were only $1,000 upside down. And if you know anything about those numbers, you know that is really good. We're talking 90,000 miles on this car, you know, when it's supposed to have 36,000 miles, and you only $1,000 upside down. Real money, now. I ain't really talking about all the other stuff. Then, of course, the last option you have is to actually just buy out your lease. You already know what the value is going to be at the time you sign up for the lease. That's your residual value. You still got to pay the rest of the taxes on that vehicle. But usually that's not much. And then you can just go ahead and buy it out. Now, what I do have to throw in this caveat. In that particular situation, you know, let's just say I got a $40,000 vehicle, and let's say I got a 60% residual value, which you know is great. That's about what we're doing over here, somewhere around those numbers. But 60% residual value is going to put you somewhere around $25,000 left. So that's still a decent payment when you buy it out. But if you know this coming up, you got to prepare, you know, save up and put that money down at the end when you're going to buy it out. Don't put all that money down up front on the lease, because y'all in a sense throwing it away, because at the end of the day, you just get into that $25,000 residual. You know, I hope that makes sense and it ain't confusing too many people here. But you can always leave a comment, ask some questions, and I can clear that up for you. You know, I'm very easy to deal with and speak with. You know, I pride myself on those things because I'm a regular guy like you guys. And I want to make sure you get a good deal. You leave here happy and with the vehicle that you want. So come see the Green Honda guy, Cedric Green. You can reach me at 478-954-9834. I'm right here at Walsh Honda. Good speaking with you guys.